Hey guys, welcome back to the Hot Corner. This is your host, Brandon Alvarez. He's doing some stuff on the computer that's pretty interesting. Not really. This is co-host Mike Alfinez. I'm co-host Danny Rowland, and we definitely appreciate you guys tuning back in. Today we have a couple of topics that we want to talk about, so we're definitely going to ramble on for about 45 minutes of incoherent information about baseball. So for the time being, since Mike is in a hurry, we're gonna.
I'm scared of
we're
my
definitely.
wife.
We're gonna talk about a couple of things. We're gonna talk about postseason predictions, and I know that in our first video we spoke about postseason predictions, but these are the actual postseason predictions from the quote-unquote experts. So we're definitely gonna cover those, as well as AL and National League MVPs, which actually they have some names on there that are pretty interesting that we found interesting, right, guys?
Yeah.
Like for instance, names like Ketel Marte that plays with the Arizona Diamondbacks, which up to today I had no idea who he was or whether he existed on this planet or not. So
He's a beast.
Yeah.
Or
So you say.
Devers.
Or Rafael Devers. You know, I mean, so yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting.
Mike is not a big fan.
But the two common denominators here of names that we covered back in our previous broadcast were AL MVP Mike Trout, which we were all unanimous in thinking that he was definitely going to repeat back as the American League MVP. And my pick from last time is also on this list, and unfortunately he ranked 15. But Bryce Harper is on the National League MVP list. So what do you guys think? I mean, are these names that definitely come to mind?
I mean, at least I think the names that needed to be on there are there, like the Trouts,
Like Ketel Marte.
No. I mean, you have the Yeliches of the world, the Bellingers. What stands out to me, a big name, and I thought this would be the case as well, is Juan Soto. I think he's just gonna be improving each year, and I mean, wow, what a second season.
Quick argument. I don't mean to interrupt you. Quick argument. Soto or Acuna Jr.?
Juan Soto. I mean, he's proven himself.
So
I think.
who's a better all around player?
Acuna, because he steals.
The guy was
Okay.
a 30 for 30 guy. The guy was a 30-30 guy.
And he could get better too. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
But if
You got that, but-
if I'm taking a left-handed batter who was actually clutch in the moment of his life in the World Series, you can't beat that. Anybody who can prove themselves. We talk about it in the group chat
at
all the
that
time.
age, at that
Yeah, we
age,
talk
but-
about it all the time in the group chat. For example, the list. Everybody's on the list. Clayton Kershaw, who was on there? Greinke, Verlander's on the list. But Juan Soto was never on the list. This is his second year in the league, and he outperformed absolutely everybody in the World Series.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be on our list.
It's pretty brutal. Justin Verlander, you are still on the list.
Sorry.
What is the list? Please.
Don't you remember the group chat? How we kid around
I
saying,
don't listen to that, bro. Listen,
Actually,
Oh, well.
I can vouch for
I
that.
silenced you guys a long time ago.
Yeah,
you
you
guys
did.
talk way too much, and I
Yeah.
have a job and I have a life.
Hey, we got jobs and we got kids here. Well, I got a kid.
Well, we don't have. Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
Yeah.
Look, the list is
Yeah.
certain specific players who are multi-millionaires, got a big contract, did not perform in the critical moments like Verlander.
Throw out a couple of names. Throw out a couple of names that are on the list.
Verlander, Kershaw, not Alex Cora, Carlos Correa.
for cheating. Alex
Chirion.
Cora's on the-
Who else?
Which, by the way, this guy took a picture with Carlos Correa yesterday, and now he's talking
Burn it.
crap about him.
Burn it. He's a cheater.
Yeah, how can you burn it? You're gonna have to burn your phone.
Oh, that's right. Never mind.
I'm not gonna delete the picture.
Who else is on the list? I said Verlander, Kershaw. Man, who else?
Well, I don't know.
Aaron Judge.
I'm gonna toss up there between Verlander. I mean, he does have a ring though.
You know what? I don't think Aaron Judge should be on the list. That's not a fair
No.
assessment. I don't think he should be on the list. due to the fact that he's done okay in the playoffs and the opportunities that he's got. I think the last playoffs he was hurt. Was he hurt last playoffs?
No, he played.
No, he
Did he
played.
play?
He hit a whopping
was
199.
Right before the playoffs he was hurt.
A couple months before that.
Oh
yeah.
yes, he was.
Nah.
I will say one guy who's not on the list because he's never played in the postseason. In the last 2 seasons, he's been with the Yankees, and that is Giancarlo Stanton. Can you please stay healthy, man? We need you. We need you. Please.
But Giancarlo Stanton, he's a guy that has got tremendous power, and I don't care what anybody says. Just because he has a lot of power, a lot of people oversee the fact that he's a pretty good defensive player. I don't care what anybody says. The guy can defend his position well, and he's got an above average arm. The guy's got a cannon, So the fact that the guy's defensive skills are overshadowed by the fact that he can just rake at any given moment, not consistently, but when he catches the ball, I mean that's the only person I've ever seen hit the ball out of Dodger Stadium, and I'm talking about clean out of Dodger Stadium. The guy's got some serious power, but he's one of those guys that's been plagued with injuries, and that's unfortunate because I think that the guy has potential to be a great ball player.
By the way, this is the last time I sit in this corner. As I noticed, I have a Boston Red Sox thing right on top of my head. Yeah.
Embracing it.
I can't embrace that.
Well, the fact of the matter,
you.
the problem was that unfortunately, I have yet to get my official DJ podcast microphone thingy, and I had one last week. And unfortunately, I took it. Well, not unfortunately, I took it back because this setup that these guys have costs as much as my stand alone. So I took it back and I said, no, you can't do this. Plus, the microphone was cheap. So that's why I'm stuck with the handheld microphone.
He stole it from church. No, I'm joking. He didn't steal it from church.
Actually, I did steal it from church. Sorry, God. Sorry, Jesus. I'll take it back, though. I didn't steal it. I borrowed it. I borrowed it from church. Okay, I borrowed it from church. But this is mine. This is mine, Pastor. Just in case you're watching. This is mine. I bought it.
All right, on to the next topic. Wait, we're still on this topic of MVP candidates, which I see about, out of the 20, I see about 18 of them that don't belong on there. No, I'm joking. Maybe about 14 that don't belong there. And I'm going to start with one name who hit a whopping 242 in the first half of baseball and got a little bit hot with the Braves. And that is Josh Donaldson. Josh Donaldson came over to the Braves, and this is why I see Freddie Freeman declining in his numbers, because in the second half of baseball, Donaldson got hot, and so did Freddie Freeman. Freddie Freeman, to me, is still the best first baseman in baseball. He still produces, but when you lose somebody behind you who can also hit, you kind of have to figure that out, and I don't think that Ozuna can replace exactly what Josh Donaldson did.
You just finished saying that. Well, pull up the numbers. Pull Ozuna's numbers up. You just finished saying that a guy hit 240. Ozuna, I know for a fact, hit better than 240
first
last
half.
year. Okay.
We're talking about the first
Let's
half.
just, you know what? Let's just go for the whole season, because that the lineup is going to stay pretty much the same. Whoever hits behind Freddie Freeman, whether it's Josh Donaldson, which it's not going to be Josh Donaldson because of the Twins now, or Marcell Ozuna, you have to see whether Freddie Freeman is going to get pitched around or not.
So you're saying, Mikey, that the pressure of Freddie Freeman having to carry the lineup again,
well, he always carries the lineup.
It's not that. I think I know what he's saying. It's that there are some guys that, depending on who hits behind them, like for instance, if there's a weaker guy that hits behind a guy that's got a solid bat, he's always going to get pitched around. So, or most of the time, I'm not going to say all the time, because there might be pitchers that would just sit there and attack you, and they don't care who pitches behind you. Like a Max Scherzer, or we just talked about Verlander. Those guys will sit there and attack you because they got that plus fire fastball and very good curveball. Very good off speed stuff. So they're not gonna play those games. They're not gonna be like, well, you know what? Let me walk you. or let me pitch carefully to you so I can get to this guy that can't hit, and should be the bat boy. I don't think that that's gonna happen with Ozuna because Ozuna's got power. He's got power. He could hurt you. Plus, he can hit for average. And I honestly think we're looking at the stats now.
He hit a whopping 241.
Wow.
Sorry.
And I was actually talking about this with my brother yesterday. He told me that Ozuna is a good player. Don't get me wrong, he's a good player, a good hitter, but I don't see him helping Freddie Freeman the way that Josh Donaldson did. If you get what I'm trying to say here. Josh Donaldson spreads the ball everywhere. He's not only just trying to hit the ballpark or the ball out of the ballpark.
What if
I could see that a little bit with Marcell Ozuna?
Well, you're talking about the bat, and I'm sorry to interrupt you. You're talking about the bat, but can he help you defensively as well? Because Josh Donaldson was in a position that you could definitely get some help defensively, and he did that. Although he was struggling with the bat, the fact that you can't hit can't overshadow the fact that you can't hold another team from scoring. So that's definitely something that Marcell Ozuna was a long time Marlin, and that's something that he struggled with. He struggled,
He's not good on the presser either.
I don't.
Yeah. I seen him strike out a lot under.
But how many pressure situations did you have in Miami? Seriously.
That's true, but not everybody.
In the Cardinals, though, there's been a lot of times when.
But he only played 1 year with the Cardinals.
Well, you can't say that about Yelich. Yelich is good in the clutch. I can't say that about Giancarlo Stanton. I haven't really seen him in
going back
positions.
real quick, what if Ozuna played that last year with the Marlins?
Yeah, he did. G was in the playoffs 2 years ago.
He was okay, but I think he was hurt.
No. He played.
He did?
Yeah. Didn't he? When the Houston Astros beat him to go and play LA, when they won, was it 2017? And Giancarlo was there.
Yeah, they were up 2-1.
Yeah.
Actually, Josh Donaldson hit better than Ozuna. He hit a whopping 259. 259.
But Mike,
94 RBIs and 37 home runs.
Answer me this though: what if you get the Ozuna from that last year with Miami Marlins, where he hit? I think he was over 300, 30 plus. What if you're getting that Ozuna? You never know because it's there. You might never know it, and also too, it also depends on the place. Who knows if he was even, comfortable with the Cardinals? Sometimes.
Well, he said he wanted to return there.
Huh?
But he wasn't going to return if they had offered him a 1-year deal. He wanted a which I don't get because he still got a 1-year deal with the Braves. So, who's to tell which one you're gonna get?
But there's a possibility that he could come back with the Braves. Because the Braves are an organization that they appreciate their players, man.
Not really.
What do you mean, not really?
I could give you several examples of players who have been with them and have left because of contract extensions. Didn't Jason Hayward leave? Which, by the way, the Braves won that because the dude hasn't really performed at all. He hasn't performed with the Cubs. Maybe he did one season, I think.
Wow.
But who's the other guy? I think they offered. I will say this though, on the case of Josh Donaldson, they offered him more money than the Twins. So there's got to be some sort of deal why Josh Donaldson left the Braves. He did say he loved them and that they loved how young they were. But if they're offered, it's not. I guess it's not about the money. So. Who's to tell why he left?
We want a different environment, I guess. To be quite honest with you, I've never been a professional baseball player, so I don't know what goes through these guys' minds. But a guy that had superstardom a couple years back when he played with when he was with the Athletics. Yeah, when he was with the Athletics, man, that dude was a beast.
Injuries, man, injuries
yeah,
too.
He declined. I mean, the guy's 34 years old. You start declining in that position. Is not exactly a position that is like a stressful position, but is it's not a position that's not stressful. That's what they call it a hot corner for a reason. And he plays third base. Plus, he came up. He didn't come up as a third baseman. He came up as a catcher. I don't know if you guys knew that. Josh Donaldson was a catcher. And so was there any wear and tear on his body due to catching? Catching is one of the most detrimental positions that you could possibly play. for your body because you're getting banged up every day. But they also say it's the easiest way to the major league. So, if you're a decent catcher, who knows? But definitely, I think we could all be in agreement that Josh Donaldson should not be on that list.
Yeah, I agree.
Anybody that could carry the team on their back, like a Mike Trout. I definitely think that Francisco Lindor has that potential. I don't think he has carried a team like Mike Trout has.
Carried them in the postseason.
Yeah, he did.
Talking about that grand slam.
But Mike Trout does it year after year after year versus 1 year.
Which, by the way, that home run Lindor hit in the postseason.
He cheated too?
Got Joe Girardi fired. Because he didn't check or review the play, which was clearly a foul, but he didn't review it, so,
It is what it is, but a player who I think might actually resurge again. Well, not resurge because he's already a wonderful player. Mookie Betts. I think he's gonna be re-energized this year and actually play the way he did again.
I think that outfield is one of the scariest outfields in baseball, and I don't care what anybody says.
If they're healthy.
But if one of them is just a thing, if one of them is struggling, you still have two studs right there.
Cody Bellinger played all year last year.
Yeah, but AJ Pollock didn't. Neither Mookie Betts.
Yeah, but there's only 3 positions out there. Where's Jock Peterson going to play?
Mookie's available in the playoffs, though.
Jock Peterson is going to be once again, the 4th outfielder. That's why he played some first base last year, because they were able to slide Max Muncy to second base and put Jock Peterson to get his swings at first base. Got a couple of errors there.
To be quite honest with you, I would rather move Bellinger to first base. He's got the most experience.
Yes.
At playing first base.
And you have AJ Pollock, so AJ Pollock is a center fielder, so you're right about that. Why not do that? But Dave Robertson, I guess they think he's a good coach.
All right, another name on this list is Yoan Moncada. Moncada.
De Cuba, Bobby.
I don't know about that.
That's an extreme bust.
Yeah.
Look, I know that there's a lot of gifted Cuban ball players.
Jose Abreu.
Yoan Moncada is he's surging, but I don't think he's MVP material, and I don't think that he belongs on this list. Because the people that are on this list are serious ball players. You could say the same thing about Shohei Ohtani. Shohei Ohtani is a guy that could rake, and is a pitcher in the wrong league for pitchers to hit. But is he a guy that has proven himself enough to be an MVP candidate?
He's been injured. It's not his fault either, but I think MLB went too much of what they can do instead of what we've seen so far.
Yeah,
and again, I get it's a prediction.
It's a projection. Yeah,
it's a prediction, but
I'm here to let MLB know that they are wrong. You have Jose Abreu. How do you not put him over Moncada? He hit 284, 123 RBIs with 33 home runs, right? And if you go back, I don't even think, and he's another guy who has played all season long.
He just goes out there and does his job.
Exactly. And let's see what Moncada did last year. If you're gonna be able to add him.
A whopping.
Oh wow, he hit 315. A whopping. He hit a whopping 315, man.
That is a classic case of putting your foot in your mouth. This guy hit 315.
But he
had less RBIs
and less home runs.
He had less RBIs and less home runs.
And he probably struck out more than.
Is he potentially a MVP candidate?
No,
not more than Abreu though.
Not this year. We're talking about not a guy that hits for average or hits for power or whatever. We're talking about a guy that is the most valuable player on their team, which I would definitely think that Jose Abreu is fully deserving of that more than Yoan Moncada. Which, by the way, he's got some skewed numbers there and a couple of better numbers than Jose Abreu. But
It
doesn't
doesn't tell the
carry
whole
the
story.
team like Jose Abreu does.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah,
And
so
they're going to have my boy catching now. Yasmani Granda. He's going to be so good.
Moncada, you're NX for me for the MVP.
Damn.
You will not be winning it.
So Shohei Ohtani, we think it's still too early?
I'm not going to even say anything about that one.
What about Anthony Rendon? I mean, he's going into a new league, where the pitching supposedly is better.
I don't think he'll decline though. I think he'll keep up with his play.
Yep.
He'll have around the same numbers. Probably not as high, but he'll be
I think
around
he'll
there.
have better numbers.
Really.
Yes.
Actually, yeah. Do you think he's gonna hit behind Trout?
Yes.
That would be a smart move, having Trout, Rendon. This is assuming Trout is gonna lead off.
Well,
we don't
Trout,
know.
I
he's
think-
going to lead off.
I think that Trout's going to lead off.
Assuming that Trout's gonna lead off.
Who was their lead? He was the leadoff last year.
Well, sometimes they put him at second. You know, when they flip in the lineup. Sometimes.
Yeah, I think that he should. I think that Rendon should hit second, and Trout hit third. That way you can't pitch around Rendon, and you can't pitch around Trout. Albert Pujols is still on the team, right?
Yes.
Where did Albert Pujols hit last year in the lineup?
I think 6th or 7th
Sixth
around there,
or
or
seventh?
5th, around that area, bottom of the lineup.
I mean, you know what? He's still a threat.
Yeah, he's
The
still
guy's still a threat.
Yeah.
So, you got your lineup always top heavy. Who's their DH?
Otani.
Yeah, he has to be their DH.
Yeah.
Pujols plays first.
So
I'll tell you right now.
who hit?
I think who hit third was
Right now, the Angels' projected lineup is Tommy La Stella hitting first, Mike Trout, Anthony Rendon.
No, I think that's a mistake. They should swap those. They should swap those two guys back. Anthony Rendon hit
and then Mike Trout.
2, and then Mike Trout.
I mean, I'm thinking of the speed
I think Mike
threat,
Trout. Well, but I think Mike Trout right now is more of a threat than Rendon is. So if they'll pitch around.
And
This
Ohtani.
is another classic case of them pitching around a guy to get to another guy. Although Rendon is a wonderful hitter, I don't think that he's as much of a threat as Mike Trout. There's loopholes you can find on Rendon that you can't find on Mike Trout. So I think that he'll more than likely hit second.
I agree. So you're saying like surround Mike Trout to where pitchers can't really mess around with Trout, that they'll be forced.
They have to pitch.
Yeah, they have to pitch him.
And
That's
can
a
you
good idea.
imagine what happens if pitchers don't have the opportunity to pitch around Mike Trout? Can you imagine?
Mike Trout.
Can you imagine what kind of numbers this guy's gonna have?
That
It's
ball's
gonna
gonna
be
fly
crazy.
like the golf ball.
Yeah,
Bro.
it's gonna be crazy. He's gonna look like Coors Field in Anaheim. All right. So we spoke about Ohtani. Garrett Cole.
This is coming again from, but I'm not gonna put that in the way. As a baseball fan, I think Garrett Cole has a legit shot at winning the MVP. I think he's right now, if not the best dominant pitcher in baseball. Just he has an intimidating factor to him that I think stands out above any pitcher right now.
Well, let me ask you this: should pitchers be considered? Should be in consideration for the MVP?
no.
But they can. So I'm going to what?
But this is my opinion.
I mean, I know. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt you. My opinion is that pitchers should not be considered MVP
Sorry.
because they don't contribute every day. They don't contribute every game. They only contribute every 5 games. So can they help their team get to the playoffs? Absolutely, yes. But they cannot carry their team because they don't play
Right.
every day.
Exactly.
They play every 5 days.
That's why you have the Cy Young for that.
Yeah.
And furthermore, I don't think that a pitcher in the American League should get MVP. Period, because he don't hit.
I will tell you something that many people already know, and this is going to go a little bit off topic here. There is one guy on this list who is clearly the runner-up right behind Mike Trout in the American League, and his name is Francisco Lindor. Anytime you have Francisco Lindor on your team, which I'm predicting he will be a Yankee, by the way. Anytime you had a guy who missed about 3 months of baseball
Wait a
and
minute.
still hits 32 home runs and 74 RBIs and 22 stolen bases and hit a whopping 284
Wait a
is
minute.
deserving of an
He's not gonna
MVP.
be Yankees.
Yeah, he's gonna be a Yankee.
He's
No,
not
he's
gonna be Yankees.
You heard it here first on the Hot Corner. I'm telling you, he is. There's a
Cash your
reason.
votes in. Promo code Mike Alfinas. Oh wait, no,
That's the PR Bakery.
Okay, put it on the board.
he is.
284 is not bad though when you miss three,
Wait.
Not
3
really.
months of baseball.
Guys, on our list, I think there's a name missing. I don't know if you guys just noticed.
Mike
And I-
Alfinas.
No, and I got it just because of Mikey said, you know who I think is a front runner to Mike Trout? And it's your favorite player.
Nolan
Right now.
Arenado?
Yeah, he's
I was about to say that.
Oh,
not on the list.
wow,
Well,
you
I'm
are
just
right.
like- my heart just dropped. I'm like, did we miss him? But no.
I was just about to say Derek Jeter, but I was like, man, he's been retired for God knows how long.
Yankee fans will still say G.
I want to know who the guy who probably wrote this article on MLB is
Why
probably the
is
guy
Devers-
hiding from saying no to Derek Jeter in the Hall of Fame. He's got to be the one that wrote this. He had it. He had it. Fernando Tatis
Mr.
Jr.,
Anonymous.
Cantel Marte, Pete Alonso over
Moncada.
Nolan. Well, that's American name, but over Nolan Arenado. That's crazy. You can also. I will say this though, not to interrupt you. Any guy going into
But
a
you did.
1 year
You interrupt
contract,
Silence. I don't know.
when you enter, well, sorry.
It's your problem.
Anytime you have a player who's entering a 1 year contract, always has an explosive year. And for that, I will delete Pete Alonso. I don't think he'll have the same numbers as last year, but I would add,
sophomore season. for
yeah, I would add Chris Bryant over Pete Alonso just because he's going to be
True.
that one guy that's going to want that $300 million contract, which he will not see. And he's going to perform lights out. Watch. You heard it here.
sure. Alex Bregman and Matt Chapman. Definite good, solid contenders for a Gold Glove. I don't know about MVP. Especially now, you know for a fact that Alex Bregman is going to get it everywhere they go. None of these guys from the Houston Astros, I'm sorry, should be nominated for any type of award because they're going to be a nervous wreck. All of these guys are going to be drinking by the end of the year heavily. You know, you know what? To be quite honest with you, I feel sorry for him, man. I mean, I get it. You know, they did that, they cheated and all this other stuff, man. But they get booed, and when they get booed, they get booed. And these, you know, the boo birds never give up.
And you have those people that take it to the extreme.
Yeah.
You know. Which
with the
isn't right, by the
signs
way.
and- yeah, with the signs and all. Yeah, hey, come on. Oh, okay.
Inappropriate
They
stuff.
cheated. Say whatever you want to say. Okay,
Boo,
get
you
over
can
it.
Boo them. Yeah.
Get over it.
Well, you
okay?
can't say to get over it because people have never got over Pete Rose. Because if they got
Major
over
League-
it, he would
Major
get
League
like
Major
this.
League Baseball
Hasn't
hasn't gotten over Pete Rose. I think that the fans would like to see Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame.
You see it everywhere.
I think that the fans. Okay, he paid his price. He did. You know, he hasn't been. Let the man in. You
30
know,
plus
Major League
years.
Baseball for some reason are all butthurt. You know about Pete Rose and not being able to go into the Hall of Fame, which I personally think, and we spoke about this in our last session episode that Pete Rose should be led into the Hall of Fame. There's no reason why he shouldn't. His accolades as a ball player have nothing to do with what happened as a manager. And the guy up to now, is the all-time hits leader. Nobody is gonna get even close to hits to his hits record. Nobody. And for that guy to be kept out of the Hall of Fame, but I mean they should just let these guys, be, and I think it's punishment enough to think that they have that in their in their conscience.
But I want to say something. Okay, so with Pete Rose, it's been 30 plus years, and then the commissioner comes out and says in his first address to the public that for his reasons of not vacating the trophy or whatnot. One of his reasons that just the feeling alone of them that they did it and the booze that they'll get basically is kind of what he said. Okay, but Pete Rose, he's been per se serving a 30+ year sentence, and the commissioner just says the Astros is okay, just let him go through this year, just 1 year of being booed and whatnot. Like, what is that? And in the World Series, you're talking about the World Series here, what the Astros did, and in the playoffs, and who knows, for how long.
They'll probably elect Pete Rose into Hall of Fame when he dies.
But that's not fair. I disagree with that, and I'm sure you were just saying that.
No, I'm being serious.
No. But I'm saying you probably disagree with that with that as well. The guy should be led into the Hall of Fame and see himself being inducted into the Hall of Fame. I mean, come on, guys. These guys cheated as a team.
And Astros still get to keep their rings or trophy, even though the rings I know come from the team, not really. Only the trophy goes from Major League Baseball. But we're talking about Pete Rose serving for what he did compared. Even if that, for the commissioner himself to come out and say, "Oh, the punishment alone for the Astros is just them to receive boos and just that feeling. Let them live with that feeling." Okay, let Pete Rose back in.
They're not gonna listen.
He's been living with it for 30+ years.
The fact of the matter is that these guys cheated, and that should be frowned upon because it's something that shouldn't be in the game, in any game, in basketball, football, and hockey, and in golf, whatever it is, marbles, whatever it is. Nobody should cheat in any game, but at some point, you gotta let it go. Yeah, they cheated and all this other crap, but you gotta let it go, man. I mean, these guys gonna be. Well, what do you want them to do? Retire the whole team?
MLB
guys gonna retire.
MLB baseball is gonna give Jose Altuve a reason not to take off his shirt even at home, because he's gonna get beamed a lot. So he's not gonna take off his shirts at home either.
I don't agree with that either. I don't agree with professional guys that throw 95+ miles an hour to be throwing at anybody. And to be quite honest with you, if Major League Baseball is going to frown on something, they should frown on that.
I agree.
And as soon as somebody hits, and I don't care, like I said, that the Houston Astros cheated and blah 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 and all this other stuff. If anybody's going to play beanballs with them, it's going to be the LA Dodgers and the New York Yankees. Anybody else that is caught intentionally trying to hit a Houston Astro should be suspended for 10 games and fined heavily, okay? Because you don't do that. This whole beanball thing. Come on, guys, we're all professionals here.
How about I actually agree with what Stephen A. Smith. Shout out Stephen A. Smith.
Whatever.
He agreed of not, and I think we all agree of not beaming them is not the proper way to go. How about before the game during the national anthem? I liked his idea where he said, just don't acknowledge them and turn the other way. What do you think about that?
That's even stupider.
Just turn the other way, saying,
stick to basketball.
But
Stephen
but
A.
I'm
Smith.
saying just for at least this year though. You don't think that's
a good idea? I think that's dumb. That's dumb. The beanball thing is dumb. The booing thing is dumb.
They ended.
What would you rather have, though?
Pitchers' careers, though, man. Look at Freddie Freeman. He was crying the other day in an interview because I forget his best friend was a pitcher on the Braves, and hit.
I think one of them is actually suing.
Yes, and he got let go by the Braves because Houston had demolished him in the first inning. They scored like 12 runs. So you can't just say that because those guys ended careers for those guys because that guy got released, went and played for the Royals, and could never bounce back.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
So what?
Yeah.
So what? You're a professional pitcher. So what? You get lit up. I mean, it is what it is. If you, for whatever reason, I know your point, and I'm not saying that what the Houston Astros did is right, but you are a professional. Okay, so that means that you should be able to bounce back from that. Okay, yeah, they got you for 12. It's not going to be your day every time you hit the mound. It's not going to be. You know what I'm saying?
That was his last start.
The next game, that was his last start. So what did he do the previous ones? Did he get lit up in those two?
He went to go play for the Royals.
Bro, listen, if you're a mental case, don't blame it on the Houston Astros. Okay? If you lost your stuff, you lost your stuff. But don't blame it on the Astros. Talk about, my career's done because the Astros cheated. And then give me a freaking break. Okay? You're a professional. Okay?
Playoffs.
You bounce back from that. And you keep motoring. Yeah, it's gonna play some type of psychological thing with you, but at the same time, man, you're a professional, bro. Get over it. You know what I'm saying? And I wish you luck in your lawsuit. But at the same time, I think you should have just put your big boy pants on. Put your big boy pants on.
There's one guy that the Houston Astros couldn't get a hit off of, even with the help of the videos.
It's gonna be a Yankee watch.
No, I was actually gonna say me.
I was gonna say Pedro.
Pedro. So,
all right,
we got off topic.
Yeah, we got off topic a little bit.
Anyway, we just got news that the Nationals beat the Marlins.
Oh, shut up! It's preseason.
Fair enough.
Hey, and you know who hit the game-winning hit? Emilio Bonifacio. We were just talking about him the other day.
Hey, he's back. That's right.
Back. Emilio Bonifacio, former Marlin, by the way.
I like that guy. He's scrappy.
One of my favorite ball players. And actually,
speedster.
his brother used to play for the White Sox, didn't he?
No, he played with Kansas City.
Okay, yeah.
I had him in fantasy. The one year he came up, he was all right.
Yeah.
He gave pretty good points.
Let's run through these National League MVPs real quick before we hit the next topic. Next and final topic. Ronald Acuna.
He could be a runner-up. Yeah. Runner-up. I got him in the set. I got him right behind Yelich on that list.
I definitely think that guy has the goods to carry a team.
Yeah, he does.
Man. The guy's
electric.
Good. Oh, and by the way, just to let everybody know, Jose Urena beams everybody. So when he beamed Acuna in the elbow, it was unintentional. Anyway, that guy's a beanball machine.
He's ready to throw hands, though.
I would
for real. I mean, you gotta defend yourself, bro. You know what I'm saying? But everybody was saying, he was saying, in Spanish, he said that, people said that in Spanish. He told them, "Bueno que te pase," or eso bueno, like that. Look, if you read his lips, I speak Spanish. You read his lips, that's nowhere near what the guy said. The guy was asking him if he was okay. That's what the guy was asking him.
Which those non-Spanish speaking means good for you.
Yeah. Bueno que te pase means good for you. That's good. Like he was rejoicing about the fact that he hit the man in the elbow. Jose Urena is a beanball machine. And I'm sorry to get off topic again. Jose Urena is a beanball machine. That guy is just, for some reason, his pitches sometimes get away from him. There's only one way to fix that. Jose Urena has to come up to bat at some point in the National League.
I got a buddy of mine who says that, a good friend of mine says that he knows him really close. He says he's one of the nicest guys ever.
Yeah, he's a good dude. That's a lot of people say. He's a good dude.
Shout out to Trace.
If the guy gets up to bat, just hit him in the butt or something. Hey, now we're even. You don't want to hit him in his throwing arm.
Back to the topic real quick. Just to kill some time off real quick. I don't know if you guys would take away, that way we don't have to worry about even talking about them, because they will not be running. They won't even come in the top 10 for MVP. I would take out
very good young players, by the way.
Yeah,
the
good.
He's gonna mention,
but not MVP candidates.
Not yet.
Fernando Tatis Jr., Marte, Pete Alonso.
Which Marte? You guys say which Marte? I think it's Kettle Marte. Plays for the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Is it Kettle or Quintel? I don't know.
There's no.
I can't tell.
There's no N there, so it can't be.
We know he's Dominican.
Yeah. He's Dominican, but I don't think he takes roids because he's pretty young. He's really slim.
Not yet.
No, I'm joking. But anyway, so Marte, Tatis Jr., Alonso. I wouldn't put Soto in the MVP this year, and I wouldn't put Bellinger. Bellinger will not repeat what he did last year.
I beg to differ. I think he will. No. I don't think he's going to repeat, but I think he's going to get close. The guy's got some serious power, and when you have that, that's like saying Deontay. Like, hey, I'm going to fight Deontay Wilder. and I'm gonna box him, and I'm gonna get the same result that Tyson Fury got. No, no, you're not, because you're gonna go in there, and the same thing that happened to 30+ fighters is gonna happen to you. Okay, you're gonna go in there, and he's gonna use that equalizer, which is what Bellinger has, and he's gonna knock you out with that right hand. Okay, so that at any given moment, Bellinger could just let one go.
He's gonna be the leadoff hitter, because now you add Mookie Betts to bat second, and Mookie Betts wasn't the leadoff hitter for the Red Sox. I think he was their second hitter.
But I'll say this though, when you said you don't think he'll repeat,
I don't think so.
I don't think he'll repeat either. I don't think he'll repeat. I don't think he'll repeat either.
But I'm saying this with all honesty, like he had a pretty good first year, but I did not think he was going to be this good in his second year. I did not.
Third year.
Now let me ask you this. These other two guys that are going to go into the sophomore years, Pete Alonso and Fernando Tatis. Do you think they'll do as well as they did last year?
As much
Tatis, yeah, if he stays healthy.
That's what I was going to tell you.
He wasn't healthy.
Tatis Jr. if he stays healthy, but I was having a conversation with Ray about this. Pete Alonso won't repeat. He thinks he will, but I'm going to tell you why. In the second half after the All-Star game, a lot of people started looking him up a little bit, and you can see that he started struggling a little bit. I think he struggled for like 2 months. I think that's what people are going to end up doing. So they're going to figure out Pete Alonso. Yes, he's going to have a good year, but I don't think he's going to have another 50-year home run.
We'll find out.
But that's the game of baseball, bro. The game of baseball always finds a way to, the game of baseball always finds a way to catch up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's up to you to make the proper adjustments as a professional. And
that's when we know.
And be successful. And that's when you know. Cody Bellinger was able to make those changes.
In his third year.
Yeah, and that's where.
But his second year, he struggled.
But that's where I'm saying what I thought he was going to be.
He made the adjustments.
Yeah. But he made the adjustments. But that's what I'm saying. This is Pete Alonso's second year. He's going to have to make the adjustments.
But there's another guy on that list that made adjustments. Because when he came into the league, he started burning the league, which is
Christian Yelich.
No,
I mean
Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper, when he first came up, was he 19? He was burning the league. I said 20 in our previous episode. I said 20. I'm sorry. He came up at age 19. When he came up, he was burning the league up. I mean, burning the league up because nobody knew how to pitch to this kid. Once they, my dad used to say, "Cuando le cogen la venita," when they figure you out, that's when you have to make adjustments. He struggled his second year. His sophomore year, he struggled big time. But his third year, he came out and had a monster year again. It's a guy that's going in there and making adjustments and making sure that he keeps a job, and that he stays up.
Yeah, even with the second year, I don't think we should be too quick to judge the player. I mean, I think it was still too early, like Bellinger. Even if I didn't think he was gonna be all that, but I still wasn't gonna judge him just off his sophomore year. It's still young. So He proved it.
Absolutely.
Won the MVP. Proved me wrong. So
absolutely. So anyway, moving on from the NL MVP candidates. Make sure that you guys comment below if you think that any of these candidates that we covered should be considered. If that's what you want to do. If that's what you want to do, you want to get into a discussion with us, we'll be more than happy to answer any questions. Let us know about. Once again, we're getting close to ending the segment. But I just want to let you guys know that we greatly appreciate the feedback from anybody that would like to give us feedback. But everyone, whether it's a negative feedback or a positive feedback, give us some type of feedback and hit the like button. Please, we'd really appreciate that.
Subscribe.
And subscribe, please subscribe.
So you can get notified.
Troll.
And anyway. We're not experts here, so if you don't agree with it, that's fine. We don't agree with each other anyways, so that's fine. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. And we just, we like to have fun. We like to talk about it. But the thing that we do promise is that we promise to get better and better every single time we do.
That's right.
So and the only way we're gonna do that is that if we get your input, topics that you guys want to hear, talk about. We can talk about briefly talk about other sports if you'd like. But we're briefly gonna talk about other sports if we even do. But this is called the Hot Corners, and we're gonna talk about baseball.
That's right.
So anyway, give us a comment below. if you think that any of these guys that we discussed today are worthy of AL or NL MVP. AL MVP, we have Mike Trout, Francisco Lindor, Alex Bregman, Anthony Rendon, Matt Chapman, Josh Donaldson, Aaron Judge, Yohan Moncada, Shohei Ohtani-san, Garrett Cole. And and Rafael Devers. We didn't even talk about Rafael Devers, but we don't need to talk about him because he's not a candidate.
Exactly.
Anyway, those are the AL guys. NL guys are Ronald Acuna Jr., Christian Yelich, Mookie Betts, Juan Soto, Cody Bellinger, Pete Alonso, Bryce Harper, Fernando Tatis Jr., and Ketel Marte. All right, so those are the guys. Before we close this segment, if you guys agree or disagree, or who do you think that is going to win the MVP out of those names that we've mentioned, leave a comment below, and we will do our best to answer.